figured out the issue. My microphone was blocked. My bad. Basically, I just did like my little intro, and then I basically said that this week's gonna be about movies, and I'm gonna start off with 500 Days of Summer. So I played A Story of Boy Meets Girl, which is like the intro monologue to 500 Days of Summer, and it's really good. It's not like a song; it's just like a little audio clip. And then now this is Us by Regina Spektor, and She's Got You High by Mama Ra. Nothing really I did so far is has like been really anything of substance, but yeah, so sorry about that. One of my favorite YouTubers got a girlfriend, and I will admit, I'm parasocial about it. And so I went to Twitter, as a dumb girl does, and then I got bullied, but I deserved it. So then I tried to wipe my digital footprint, didn't work. Pretty embarrassing overall. Yeah, so I'm embarrassed about that, and I'm afraid I'm gonna get doxxed and everyone's gonna hate me. So there's that. But, moving past, I turned off my screen time for Twitter today because I just kept looking at Twitter, just a bad idea. But let me know if you think I'm gonna get doxxed. If so, I live in an apartment building, so like, is it that bad? The urge for me to go on Twitter on my phone right now, though. I just have brain worms that are winning. They're always winning. So. Scroll. I'm so scroll. It's bad. Sorry, I burped. I can't even like think of things to say that come out in a way that aren't like me being an actual psychopath. But like, it's fine. I need to switch this. Anyway. Moving on. Snapchat? Well, okay, here's the thing with Snapchat. There's the discovery page, which is so bad, but it's so, I watch it the first thing I do when I wake up is go on Snapchat discovery page and watch the worst videos ever made. Get my news from only the Daily Mail, and then I'm ready for class. It's great. This morning, the first thing I saw when I woke up was an article about how Kim Kardashian fit into the Marilyn Monroe dress she wore to the Met Gala. Despite, it was like, Kim K finally reveals how she did this. And then, my mom just texted me, sorry, hi mom. The information about her, like, losing a bunch of weight and being able to fit it has been out for, like, months. So, like, I don't know. I feel like Snapchat isn't the worst. I would say in terms of, like, people on it being bad, low-key, Instagram has gotten really bad recently in terms of at least, like, just what I'm on. I feel like Twitter is always considered to be bad for, like, fan base and stuff like that. But, like, maybe it's just because of, like, the stuff I've seen today with the YouTuber soft launching his girlfriend. It's just been not too good. But also, like, I'm aiming to it on Twitter and on Instagram, so not anymore. I've changed, I've sworn, I swear. So from me at 2 o'clock today and me right now is a different person. No, the discovery page is so good. And sometimes there's, like, comments on the videos, so it's, like, funny. And I don't have TikTok, so, like, I think that's why I look at it. But they're funny. It's always funny. It's always, like, people interviewing other people on the street. It's so silly. I'm so Tumblr pilled. Okay, I need to talk in, like, 5 minutes, but I'm a big Tumblr girl. Alright, that was Us by Regina Spektor and She's Got You High by Mumara. There are discussions online whether Summer is a manic pixie dream girl or not. She fits the category on paper, but she does not exist entirely for Tom's well-being, therefore she does not fit this category. I was originally going to talk about Summer in last week's episode, but her character analysis was similar to Clementine's, was like, might as well only focus on those two. But I think this movie is, it's just it's very interesting in the way that it's portrayed from, like, Tom's perspective, and how, like, we see Summer in the way that Tom sees Summer, which is interesting, because this movie fits into my sort of, like, personality goals, people I want to be section of today's episode, because, like, Summer is just, like, portrayed in a way that, like, makes girls want to be her and boys want to date her, just because she's a very, like, an alluring woman, a fantasy of almost, like, what someone would want to be, which is interesting considering how she is made for the male, like, perspective and male gaze, but despite being, like, a femcel and being, like, against this, she's still someone I find very interesting and lovable. And then with this movie specifically, I wanted to use it for the movie section because the movies in There's like weird programming stuff happening right now. But the music used in this movie is amazing, and one of the reasons why I started, like, have watched this movie maybe 10 times. They focuses a lot on sad British pop, as said earlier, and a story of boy meets girl. And, it's a big emphasis on this is the Smiths, specifically the scene where Summer and Tom, like, first interact for the first time, and, like, the iconic line, "I love the Smiths." So, going off of that, the next song I'm gonna be playing is "There Is a Light That Never Goes Out." This is a song they were, Summer was singing in the elevator with him. I tried to do a little, like, thing, little moment, what's it called? Like, fading my talking to the song, and then Morrissey started to relate, so that's cool, it's cool. No, it's fine. Okay, so Lucy, I'm very Tumblr girl. I grew up on Tumblr, Dan and Phil, specifically, like Tyler Oakley, Troye Sivan, like that kind of vibe on Tumblr, which I think aids to me not being able to, like, function properly on not being able to function properly on, like, social media and, like, parasocial relationships, because, like, that and, like, early One Direction, like, Twitter, like, these famous people aren't real humans. I want to read Bad Feminist, so hit me with that. I feel like the concept of, like, the unlikability of, like, female characters is very interesting to me, which is also one of the reasons, one thing I'm going to get into this more, because, like, a lot of these characters that I'm going to talk about are, like, written specifically for women to like them, which also makes a lot of like people not like the movies, because if, like, a man's reviewing it, he's gonna be like, I don't get it, I'm stupid. Right? Isn't that so true? I had the Connor Franta book, and I read it front cover to back cover. Let me tell you, it was so good. Also, the Tyler Oakley book, so good. So good. I don't care. I never want to go home because I haven't got one. I love this song. So good. So good. To die by your side, such a heavenly way to die. I love the Smiths. Dude, my friend Gianna and I dressed up as Summer and Tom for a costume party, and it was awesome, and we recreated the elevator scene, and it was the coolest thing ever. I was Summer. I looked pretty good. A little Zoe Deschanel moment. Even though Gianna has bangs, so, like, it probably would have made more sense if we did the other way. But she really wanted to be Tom, so I was like, whatever. I got the clothes. I don't mind. It never goes out. There is a light that never goes out. There is a light that never goes out. There is a light that never goes out.
Christine?
Ladybird.
Is that your given name?
Yeah.
Why is it in quotes?
Well, I
I
gave
give
it
it
to
to
myself.
myself,
It's
given to me by me. Okay. That was a little audio clip from one of my favorite movies, Lady Bird. I don't know exactly how to segue into this movie, but I was like, might as well start off with a classic quote from the movie. Lady Bird is considered a female manipulator movie, which is interesting considering how, like, I guess, mundane a lot of the scenes in the movie are. It's an A24 movie, so it's very much like a little like simple and like stylistic in regards to how the movie is like made, but a lot of analysis goes into it, which is like cool because it talks about this girl who is trying to like figure out what college to go to. She's like on her way out of her like small town vibes, and she also has a poor relationship with her mother, and they fight a lot, but you can like tell that they both love each other a lot, but it's like not necessarily like the best. They don't really understand each other, which comes to be the issue. But in terms of Lady Bird being a female manipulator, this is seen a lot through her interactions with her friends, such as how she drops her long-term best friend in order to like become friends with these other people, specifically so she can interact with this boy named Kyle, played by Timothy Chalamet, and he ends up being literally awful, so she goes back to her best friends, and I feel like this kind of shows how she is like wish-washy in what she does, and like is a chameleon almost in terms of like being able to get what she wants. But I think one of like most important parts of this movie is like the relationship with her mother, and I feel like in parts of the movie you look at it and you're like, why is she so like kind of rude about how like her upbringing is, and like upset, and like why their relationship is very not good. I mean, like obviously you don't know the entirety of it because you only see a snapshot of her life, but I think one thing that kind of explains their relationship is their talk when Lady Bird is coming home from college touring, and her mother and her are talking in the car, and they begin to get in an argument, and this is a little clip from it.
College and then to jail and then back to city college, and then maybe you'd learn to pull yourself up and not expect everybody to do everything.
Oh, sorry. Got into this. Okay, sorry, I was having issues. Okay, so basically that was a little clip, and at the screams at the end was Lady Bird jumping out of the moving car, which is pretty drastic in regards to like that argument wasn't even that like crazy. It's like that because that's the thing that's interesting in this movie, because everything means so much, but when you're watching it they're like, oh, like that was only like a little thing, like whatever, but like obviously in Lady Bird's life, because she's so young, she's like, oh my god, this is my whole world, blah blah blah. So when she jumps out of the car, she breaks her arm, and then she wears a pink cast for the rest of the movie, and I think that this cast symbolizes the relationship with her mother, and how when she's like at home and sorry, something weird is happening, when she's at home and like it's like the relationship is difficult, specifically I think because they have such similar personalities, so they like butt heads a lot, and then as she goes throughout the movie and like goes off to college, her cast comes off, and then it ends up the final scene being Lady Bird being like, after her first like week or so in college, she calls her mom and she asks, were you emotional the first time you drove through Sacramento? And she basically is like asking her mom like about like the town that she grew up in, that also like she considered herself hating, but once she was like gone and like away from it, she realized she actually loves Sacramento and loves her mother, which is very interesting to me, because I think that's very cool and a very like modern relationship dynamic in regards to like a lot of like girls growing up and like seeing everything that's so interesting and like cool in the world and like I want to do that. But if like there's a lot of things like holding the back, and then once they like get to like what like there's a common theme of or a common idea of like people who grow up in small towns, and then they are like, all my problems will be solved if I move to like New York, and then they move to New York and not all the problems are solved, and they're like, this is interesting. And I think a good song that kind of encapsulates this sort of this sort of idea of like leaving small town, trying to like find yourself, is The Eve of Parting by John Hartford. I talk so much.
This eve of parting,
Roblox! I love Roblox. Sorry. I like to play Total Drama Island, Fashion Frenzy, Mega Easy Obby. I forget. Oh, hi Hunter. This is so cute. Okay.
Tell myself I didn't care. There's the thought of your existence, loving every flaxen hair.
Steffi Steffi deserved to die. Sorry. Yeah. Oh my god, wait, is my chat on screen?
Till out of breath.
That's what I wanted.
Sunrise pregnant with your leaving, like certain death. The pattern of the bird of love that's wheeling
Freaking out.
on its dizzy way. Tears me down.
Okay, whatever. I just won't have chat on screen for this, like, for the playback for this one. It's whatever. Okay. Should I? I'm trying to figure out, because I don't think I'll be able to talk about all the movies I was thinking of doing, but I think actually I should.
When both our minds are warped with parting, break the thought of nights alone.
There are flops in the background.
Flesh cries out, don't move, don't leave me. Conscience runs till out of breath. Sunrise pregnant.
I think I just need to like, I don't know.
Certain death.
I like usually I plan out like to the minute, but this week I was like, I do not have time to do that, so it's not.
What is your breakfast? Are you grabbing a muffin, bagel, or cereal as you rush out the class? Did you know that a sugary or carb-based breakfast can send your body into a blood sugar roller coaster where you be hungrier and craving more throughout the day? A protein-rich breakfast will keep you fuller for longer and help control your hunger. This will also help improve your focus and get closer to that edge. Some good sources include eggs, meat, Greek yogurt, and nuts. Don't want to give up on those delicious carb treats yet? Try adding those eggs and bacon to your morning bagel or keep note of how the added protein makes you feel. Try to put breakfast and be a healthier choice.
That was a little PSA. Gotta play those every like session. So very good. Okay, so the next movie I'm gonna be discussing is 10 Things I Hate About You. This movie is one of my favorite movies of all time. I wanted to talk about it specifically because of the song Cat is introduced in for the movie. It starts off with 1 Week by the Bare Naked Ladies, which is like a groovy song. It's like kind of vibe, and then it it fades into the camera pans and it is on Cat, and it fades into Bad Reputation by Joan Jett and the Black Hearts, which is like I'm gonna be playing next, and like you'll hear it. It's like a lot more like harder and like type of deal, which is interesting because it's like showing distinctly how like Kat is not like the other girls, and like she likes cool things, and like the beginning of the movie is very specific in categorizing her as someone who's different from everyone around her, and like you see her in the movie reading like the bell jar and the feminine mystique, and like only like it said that she only listens to female punk music, and like I think she's a perfect example of a femcel. Clearly she doesn't fit the chronically online idea because this movie was released in 1996, but I just love Kat glow and like good skin and like health and like whatever, which like I think it's just an interesting idea in general. And this movie has a lot of like feminist like themes and ideas when it's like explaining, and I think it's very cool just kind of showing how they're able to like deconstruct like the long history of oppression while making this sort of like, I guess it would be considered a horror movie, even though it's not like incredibly scary, but yeah, it's a very cool movie. And like Jennifer is like seen manipulating like her best friend Needy throughout like the movie. In the beginning, characterizing her as kind of like a B-word and then also like she manipulates men to like hang out with her, and resulting in her just eating them. So there's that. But yeah, so she's a little female manipulator moment. The song I'm going to play from this movie is Kiss with a Fist by Florence and the Machine. It's the opening song to the movie, and a pretty good one at that. Ugh.
You hit me once, I hit you back. You gave a kick, I gave a slap. You smashed a plate over my head, then I set fire to our bed.
Oh my god.
You hit me once,
Me one, me one, me one, me one.
I gave a slap. You smashed a plate over my head.
So there's that. Hunter, I will say when you joined, I thought you were like a random person, because sometimes random people would join, and I was like, who is this? Who is she? But I'm happy you're listening. I love it. This song is so good. I love Florence and the Machine. Last stream, someone from Latvia was watching, which is like cool, I guess. I mean, it is. So, I don't know. Who wants to subscribe? No, I would actually like cry. Whoa. I hit the whoa. Okay, I'm gonna try to get challenge. I need to like have a checklist of things to do, because I keep forgetting things that are like, for what I think are like key parts of getting this guy going. The next movie I'm going to be talking about is one of my favorite classic movies of all time. It is Breakfast at Tiffany's. And I think this movie is very interesting because when I was doing all my research for Manic Pixie Dream Girls, Breakfast at Tiffany's kept coming up, which I was like, that's so weird. Like, this trope is like, I guess in my mind I considered it as something new. And it's not, I guess like it's applied when looking at the term in like the misogynistic way, and like that thing, like whatever, it like can reflect back on this movie, but people use it to explain Holly, even though it's not entirely true, because she doesn't really affect like Fred, who's like the main character in the movie, and doesn't really like help him get to any goals, but like she still has that sort of like flightiness and like cool girl vibe to her, which like is the Manic Pixie Dream Girl aesthetic, so to speak. And I feel like, and also going off of that, for this like categorizing in the movies, she's considered a female manipulator, which is also another. I was reading a thread about this on Reddit, and I was like, this is interesting, because people are saying like the way she like treats men and the way she goes about her life is like through a form of manipulation, but also, like, her job as being a call girl, this is just what she does. So, like, does that justify her manipulation? Does that make her not manipulative and just doing her job? Or is it all of them? Is she still considered manipulative despite having, like, a reason to do so? I don't know. Just, like, ideas. But overall, I feel like her character quirks and, like, fashion kind of aid her to, like, the not like the other girl's persona, which is why she, like, has this sort of, like, modern interpretation to her, which I think is super interesting considering that this movie was released in 1961, which was the beginning of the second wave of feminism. So this movie came out in order to, like, have women have like a character to look at who's not, like, the traditional housewife and, like, has her own job despite it being a call girl, but it kind of aids, it, like, adds to the sort of, like, characterization of women at that time, and, like, the concept of womanhood is being, like, questioned, debated, and reshaped, as seen through the book The Feminine Mystique being, like, published and highly talked about at this point too, which I think is super interesting because that's, like, one of my favorite books. And at the end of this day, at the end of the day, the main message from this movie is that, like, a good man, being Fred, straightens her out, which ends up having, like, a sexist tone to it. It makes it not necessarily the biggest, like, feminism empowerment movie, so to speak. But it was released in the 60s, so you're gonna have to take that into account. But overall, I feel like what Holly Golightly's character does in terms of the like, recognition of women, like, having their own sort of character quirks is interesting because you don't really see that very much until, like, after this film, more stuff like Annie Hall starts coming out. So it's, like, it's interesting. So from this movie, I'm going to play the song Moon River by Henry McInerney, with the vocals by Audrey Hepburn, who is amazing. So just enjoy this. Young Gilgamesh, how are you? Long time no see. I hope you're doing well. I'm loving it. You were my first ever follower on Twitch, so you knew me back at the Candy Crush streams. That's a true fan. Thank you very much, Nolan. Okay. Breaker,
Wherever you're going, I'm going your way. Off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're the same.
I had gum I was saving, and it fell off the top of my water bottle and hit the desk, so now I'm clearly not gonna eat it, but I don't know where to put it.
Huckleberry friend.
Okay, this is something. That song is beautiful. I love Audrey Hepburn's vocals, of course. The next movie I'm going to be talking about is The Love Witch, which I really like this movie. I've only seen it once, which the other movies I've seen that I've talked about I've seen countless amounts of times. But I feel like this movie has such an interesting oh my god, sorry, I had a little little moment there. Has such an interesting like themes with it, because it's about this woman named Elaine, and she's a witch, as we get from the title, and she like creates potions and spells in order for men to fall in love with her, because she like wants the attention from them. But then after they fall in love with her, she like gets annoyed by how much attention they're giving her, and she ends up killing them because she's like, you're annoying. Which I think is very interesting, because it's also like she's a prime example of a female manipulator, and even her character kind of goes back to the term that was made before the female manipulator term we know now, which is like a man-eater, or the femme fatale archetype, which is super interesting considering this movie was made in 2016, so like female manipulator concept was like still out, but it still kind of goes back to like the more classical term, and I just feel like this movie portrays like a very interesting idea of female love in regards to this back and forth of her wanting attention, getting it, hating it, and then wanting attention again, because the movie shows her cycling through a little bit of like multiple people, which is just like very interesting. And there's a lot of just like good like feminist moments and like things she says that are super cute. Like she's able to be like sort of a man relationship based character as well as continuing like a very big like feminist perspective and like outlook on the way she goes about it, which is super cool. And then also on top of this, like the aesthetic, the fashion, the witchy vibes, the like architecture, and the like the how she moves into is like Victorian style, and but it's like has like a bunch of bright colors and it's super cool. It's just, this whole movie is just put together super well, and it's amazing. It was made by Anna Briller, who focuses on like feminist movies. She only has 2 movies and about 4 short films she made, but this movie's amazing. I wish there was more of her work. One song from the soundtrack that I feel like kind of encapsulates the vibe of Elaine is Black Magic Woman, which I'm gonna play now, next. Oh my god. I'll play that now, and then I may go back to another song, but we'll see, because there's another song I really want to play. Alright, basically, here we go. Next song, Black Magic Woman. Sorry, this is being weird. Okay, perfect. But like, the computer's being odd. Breakfast at Tiffany's, too smooth. You know? Sometimes when I wear these headphones, I feel like you can't hear anything, but I know you can. But it's like awkward. There's a meeting that happens in this room next to me for like the exec, basically. And so there's so many people who are here while I'm doing this, and it makes me scared. Sorry. Also, in this room, like over here, it's like our live room, so there's a bunch of people who have like performed there, and a lot of the times we'll like get people who are like like very good and like right on the cusp of like being famous, so like we get them before they went mainstream, which is kind of cool. So like when I turn around, I can like, and also whoever performs does like writes their name on the wall to like kind of keep not like a list, but more of like a cool like feeling, like vibe to it. But if I look out the window, I can see Mitski's name. So Mitski performed there before she like got big and famous, which is super cool, because I love Mitski. And when I found that out, it was like the week after I saw Mitski live, and I was like, no way. And then also like Alex G, who's good. I don't listen to him that much though. But yeah. Pretty cool, pretty cool. that song. Super good. Lovely, lovely, lovely. The next movie I am going to mention, not really discuss completely, is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I talked about this movie last time, so like y'all got a general idea of it, but basically Ramona fits into the like personality goals, people I want to be vibe, because she's awesome and she's like one of the first characters I saw in media that was like cool girl, edgy, femcel, dyed hair vibe. So obviously I love her, and this movie itself is like insane. The production value is like crazy. It's based off of a comic book, but so it like has that vibe to it, but it's also more of like a video game type vibe, I would say, which is like awesome. But there's this one song from it called Black Sheep by Metric, but there's a Brie Larson cover of it in the movie, and it is literally insane. Like, it's so good. I'm gonna be playing it next, and y'all know what I mean. But yeah, this movie's just so good. Amazing. There's a TV show apparently being made for it, which honestly I feel like could be pretty good. Maybe include some of the scenes from the comic book that weren't made into the movie. A lot of the times remakes are not too good, but considering how much of a cult classic this is, I feel like they'll make it correct, you know? So here is Black Sheep, Brie Larson cover. So good. Oopsie. Okay, chat, whoever's still there, I think I have like 3 viewers right now. Yeah. I want you guys to vote for the next song. It's either gonna be a song from the two choices from Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Garbage Truck and Threshold. Probably Threshold I would play next. Or a cover of Paint It Black by the Rolling Stones, which is from The Love Witch. It's like covered by a woman, that's really good. Or an original song from 10 Things I Hate About You. Yeah, so 10 Things I Hate About You, Love Witch, or, what's it called? Scott Pilgrim. Let me know what you want. Paint It Black. Okay, yeah, low key it's really good. I mean, well, high key because I like this song. But like, and it also is longer than the other, so it kind of will like fit into the will fit the time frame I need. Up in outer space. Oh man, someone made eye contact with me. I would do a little dance, but I'm afraid of people looking at me! Ah! Anyway. so awkward. Ew, what if I made eye contact with them again? Ew, 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 ew. I hate them being over there. Did I make that known? Can't tell. Actually, I don't think I can play Painted Black because it's gonna take too long. Okay, the next song I'm gonna play is, it's gonna be Threshold by the Intercourse Bums. Maddie on Twitch voted for Paint It Black, but that song is almost 4 minutes long and I only have 2 minutes left and I don't want to be mean to the people who come in after me. But maybe I'll play the little Paint It Black cover next time. So sorry about that, Maddie. But here is Threshold.
Make you think about death and get sad and stuff.
Sorry, Maddie. I just get anxious. I mean, the people who are coming in aren't here, but like, it's fine. Okay, now I gotta clean up my little. Maddie, next time I have a question for the group, you'll be whatever answer will be you. Thank you, Maddie. It means a lot. Dude, honestly, it's so good. I highly recommend, out of all the movies, I would say The Love Witch, just because I feel like it's less like known about than all of the rest of them, but so good. So all of them. I want to watch Lady Bird, like last week I was like, I need to watch Lady Bird or I'm gonna die, and then I never did, so maybe I'll watch it tonight. We'll see. I have a lab to do, and then I'm gonna play Minecraft, and I might stream it, so we'll see. Okay, so sorry, I went over. That song just played and I love it, so I wanted to do. Oh my gosh, my thing wasn't up. Okay, but thank you for joining me. I'm done today. There's people after me, but enjoy. Hello. Thank you, sorry.